those reasons. Why? Okay. So I don't know if it's actually recording or not. We should fix this in a moment, in theory. I don't know. But anyways, it should be recording something. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about Inquisitor Martyr and the update primer that has basically caused a bit of damage to some of the progress the game has made. Some of it's been slowed down, which is something that they were very against being slower before, or at least fans were. That's why they sped it up in the first place, and now they're kind of, I don't know what the hell they were doing with that. I don't think it's intentional, but I think that there's some performance issues with the update, and all of it seemed to be indeed for the primer for the new expansion stuff to come into play. Last night, me and a friend were playing, and we were, gathering up on the ship deck, and people are apparently able to join, and as far as I can tell, there's no way to keep people from joining. Now, it all worked out because somebody needed help leveling because they were coming back to the game for the first time in a long time, probably in the eyes that, that the new DLC is indeed coming to PS4, and it's technically out right now. And I'm questioning whether I should get it or not, but I probably will, and I'll probably stream it, because I went to look for news on YouTube about what other people are feeling about it, and it seems like just about nobody's really touched the subject yet. So I might very well take a crack at it. So anyways, I got pretty much, I think, my loadout ready and stuff like that. I normally do. There's a little bit more delay. This frame rate here, I don't know if YouTube's really going to properly portray it, but when you rotate this guy, it's a little bit more chunky ever since the update in the menu. Now I know what you're thinking, oh, well, it's just a menu, it's not big a deal. You'd be correct, it's really not that much of a deal. What's neat, though, is that the color mess-ups that happen in the map when you go to the navigation cogitator, it still does the color, but what's interesting is it actually gives me a comparison. Like when I go into my inventory while in the map, it actually makes them smooth again. Why there's difference there, I don't know, but it seems to be there. Go to inventory, check this out. I don't know if YouTube's going to see the real difference, but he rotates a lot smoother, so it's actually easier to deal with some of the stuff here. If only you could actually keep some of the color that you do get in these mess-ups. You'll notice little dangly parts like this. They're like bright flipping red. And I think it's alpha masking that gets weirdly colored in this. It actually looks better, honestly. Like the skull thing there, if only they left the eyes just straight up red, because with the kind of lack of contrasting colors that they have in the skull mask, if you don't know Warhammer 40k and whatnot, at glance it looks like there's a white square on the helmet and that's it. But here you can blatantly see there is curvature. There is more to it when you do this here. Things actually move faster in the inventory when you're in the map screen. Probably because it's not doing some of the lighting effects. Also, to the guys at Neocore, these dangly things, I know it's hard to see when I do it here, but in a lot of cases, in the other menu and whatnot, you saw it a little bit there, you actually attached multiple dangly things that all look like one. So you're adding more geometry and lag than's necessary, and no one's ever gone back over it. I don't know if no one else has picked it out or what, but yeah, that's one thing you guys could easily done to make sure that there's only one attachment, dangly attachment to the armor, but in the exact same spot, and they're overlapping. There's actually multiples. And, from what little I've done with, working with some, mesh stuff and whatnot, in Second Life, it's real easy to attach multiple things to one spot and not know or realize that they're there until someone moves around a lot. You can pick it out. And some people never do, because some people are running with a computer or whatnot that's running at 5 frames per second. Anyways, so, that being said, go back to the command bridge, and I'll move him around again. You'll see it's a little bit more crunchy, again, subject to change with YouTube streaming. I'm not doing super duper streaming from this thing. I'm just using the typical bit. Yeah, the frame rate of the moving characters in these menus, it's dropped since update. And it takes you back a little bit from the immersion that this game has, and that's one of the few real major things going for it. But I do actually enjoy this game more than I've enjoyed a lot of other things. I put myself through Gundam Battle Operation 2 for 2 months straight, and I guess maybe by comparison almost anything feels better. I know, totally different game, unfair pot shot, but what can I say? But we'll see it here too. I can't do a comparison with Mr. Let's just call him Craft Techie Guy. Craft Techie Guy used to be a much smoother animated thing than this, but as you can see with my turnaround and my animations while on the bridge, he's a little bit more crunchier in animation. Not terrible, but most of us who've been playing a while, yeah, we kind of realize that. But that's survivable. I'm not going to sit here and say that would have been the things that probably. Here's the things that actually do break the game. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show to you because it happens depending on the mission and so forth. But if you get knocked down, there's a chance your body will not move. Now, this was a glitch that's actually been present for quite a while, but it was diminished. The glitch would happen a lot less often. I'm going to hit L2 so I can go through these faster. Looks like without the DLC, we actually can go to the new subsector. Matter of fact, let me show that here. We're going to sit a moment as we go backwards through these portals. And then I can show a visual display of what that looks like. Now here we go right here. You all remember this, at least I know it's been playing. Normally we've had one, two, well not that one, and 3 here. But we have another one over here, and I think this is the beginning of, or what's set up for the beginning of the DLC. But as you can see, you can approach some of it here as is. Now, I could just travel to some of these L2, but a visual representation is kind of all about what, streaming is. So here we go. There we go. And a nice little piece of space. You can't move it around as much by moving the controller or gyrating it, as much as some of the other places. But new little pieces of space. So, that's kind of neat. I'm going to randomly go to a place. Crunchy, 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 crunchy. That's always been as crunchy as it is. That's just fine. Wow, so look at this. We have a Gordic. Oh, forgive my phone. It's been doing that every so often. Let's see here. Nurgle's back. We still have all of those. We're actually looking at new races. Let me see if anyone. That's Corn. He's nothing new. Let me see if I can give you something new. There we go. Here's one with some Tyrannid. Tyrannid is back in Inventions. They were not in the PS4 version before until last night. And we were playing against them. Some of them can be a bit spongy, but, such as the action RPGs. And what level you pick. Do I think that they're terrible? No. However, when you're doing some of the missions where you're capturing checkpoints, rather than staying relatively close to these checkpoints, some of them will go across the entire map, and then you've got to scour this desert of map. Some of them won't load in on the big map, by the way. Like, big squares will be missing, but at least the land is there. Where I've seen games not load in the map, and you fall just into infinite, or do in fact run over it, and it's not there. In fact, I think in the beta days this did that too. So just the map is missing. So, call it Warcraft or what you will. You just can't really see it on your map when you're traveling across it. But you can tell that most likely the land is there, and it does look different than just out-of-bounds land. You can figure it out. Especially when Xenos just run right over it. So you're like, okay, well, I'm going to run after you too. It's good for the Tyrannid, it's good for the Inquisitorial Zealot that's going to smear you across the sands. So we did that, and that worked out well. But yeah, you can go running across the entire map looking for this guy, and then across the map, when you kill the last guy, the Imperial Guard standing around in a squared circle, like they're guest stars on WWE, they finally capture it, and then the mission's over. So that's been a thing. It's a mild thing, though. You know, it's not game breaking. It's just kind of what the fuck. Not exactly the best game design. But it's fine. I don't mind doing a lot. Oh, look, it just happens to be another fucking desert with Tyranid. Maybe we will run into this situation, although this is a purgation protocols, yeah. I could throw cards down on this. Yeah, why not? Matter of fact, this gives me another chance to show you something that's amiss, that's a visual break. Let's go with one of my favorites here. Randomized restrictions on penalties of dying. You start with 1, but elite or villains will give you up to 4. That's fine. So yeah, one thing you're going to notice. You see how this is dark now? Before, you could abuse the card system, do all 3 of one thing up here, or all 3 of what's on the bottom level down here. No longer. So one of the things that they did with the update, rather than actually fix things and cause some more breaks, they just kind of added the restrictions. So like right here, you could add 2 of these and really up your chances of getting cards. Hit it once. You see that gold thing on it? You can't hit it a second time. But sure enough, it's just now enforcing the rule set that they said that they would have before. That's fine. It's kind of a bummer in some way, but it's what they said they would do, and now they've done it, so there's that. Now here's another thing, a mild complaint. We're going to start in with this. Let's see, a restriction that we've earned ourselves with a 1 life, but elites will give you up to a maximum of 4. +1 melee enemy per enemy group for the other card. A very mild inconvenience, and depending on how you think of it, can actually be a convenience. Just 1 more melee guy to get his ass whooped to drop stuff for you. But you hit start, get this going. Oh yeah, it's not going to show it because I don't have someone co-oping with me right now. So I'll just explain it. You know that cool little graphic that would show the cards that you implemented as you start? And if you didn't put 1 card in, it would just have like a little dark spot, looks seamless and fine, as it should. Now it's a bright white flipping square that is not game breaking, but again, another thing that takes you back out of being immersed. As you look at this dark screen, these cool dark, fixtures, and this thing that holds your cards, and bright white square. It's just bright in your face, and yeah, it does not mend well with the rest of the visuals. So the update broke that little dark spot that was supposed to be there. It basically feels like we're playing another beta. Alright, infinite super duper load screen, and if you have a PS4 Pro, it only ups it by about 5 seconds.
The sweet stench of imminent death.
The sweet stench of ass. It's kind of cool how he talks through the controller.
Take the enemy head on. Lay waste to their strongholds and show no mercy.
So let's see. What do I have here? I think I have a... What's the other thing I have? Oh yeah, hammer. Now I'm not a melee build, so I might very well go right back to my bolter at any moment. But I should do well enough. Hey, look, that went right through you. Why? Why did that go right through you? Oh, maybe because you're a floater? That might be it. I'll take that excuse. Wham! Pump. Now, rather than just cycle through things like my greatsword, where I can just throw stuff out one after the other to combo it all, hammer doesn't cool down its other abilities as fast, so you can be sitting there holding X till the others go.
Keep pushing. Don't lose momentum.
He can run you around odd ways sometimes.
Die, unclean!
Squish! Oh, you're dead already. Now, it does feel like it's a little bit smoother than it was last night. Oh, there's a little bit of slowdown there. But it's not... Again, it's manageable, but that's for now. Let's see what happens if it, like, were to go super amounts of enemies. One of the glitches... yeah, it's so sluggish a little bit here. Is... your audio can be killed for your entire PlayStation 4 when the glitch happens. So not only in game will the sounds get all crunchy and whatnot, although for some reason it'll keep voice chat hearable enough, but it too is affected. It affects the PlayStation 4 itself. So the whatchamacallit, the home screen and whatnot will very much get affected and sound just as crunchy. However, as far as I can tell, it doesn't leave a permanent break. You know what? You're getting older. But it makes me wonder sometimes, wow, I just mowed through that. But then again, it's low level, so yeah. That one went smoothly enough, though.
Take it like
what was I saying? But yeah, we were faster than this before.
Onwards! Don't linger, guardsmen!
Granted, I'm faster all around with my melee weapon. Alright, we got a tower gunning at us, so I think that's this over here. I'm trying on a little bit more at once than what we recommended. If it was a higher level, it would be a problem. Tyranids have some new cool abilities, which is a little different. My one friend thinks that the new Eldar, aka standard Eldar, instead of the usual Dark Eldar, he feels that they have too much of the similar abilities. I find the difference in them, but he doesn't. And they do share some basic principles, but that's to be expected. They're both, you know, Eldar. They kind of branch in the same way. God, phone just keeps talking. Let's see. And these guys aren't going to show the whole knockdown glitch, I don't think. But like a mission where demons get spawned from others being killed, those demons will have knockback from Link's charge. And if you get hit with it, for some reason, more often than not, you will get stuck in place. And until they hit you, or you get charged or knocked down again, or you die, you can't move again. And again, that's a glitch that, in some respects, never was entirely gone. Like, other things would stick you in place sometimes, but there's ways to get out of it. But you lose even the command to do things that fix the other glitch that results in you being stuck in place. And that's to have, like, a melee weapon or a jump pack that flings you, like, through the sky, that an action that has a movement, and you'll get flung back to your body, where your body is actually in one place and you're in another place. It's a similar kind of a glitch, allocation errors. But this, you can't do an active thing at all. We just kind of run through that. If in co-op, that little bar on that twin eagle on the right side of the screen starts counting down and will force you to leave if you're in co-op. But when you're in single, it'll let you walk around at will, so I'm going to do a little bit of that. I'll try not to take too long, but I have a habit of wanting to kill everything on the map, especially if they got something I want. Because there's cool little missions where you go after certain enemy types and they'll drop a special thing. Hi there. Oh, I didn't even need to follow up. So yeah, I'm just kind of mowing through things. It gets harder, it can get plenty spongier when they're on a high level. Those of you who've played the game know that way easily and truly. Anyone who's wondering about the game otherwise, well, that's the thing. But yeah, despite all its faults, I still find myself playing it and I have fun. The best way to do it, however, is definitely play co-op with friends. Or even strangers. And strangers very much apparently will come into your room. And being that it's not super duper competitive or over the top, you know, popular to the point where the toxicity roars in, Even though, I won't lie, some Warhammer 40k's fan bases, they come to the whole purging and killing everything that's different than us mentality because they have other things in their lives where they feel that way. And, yeah, you can come across some unfortunate individuals there, but overall, I do very much like 40k, and not everybody in that fan base is like that. You get some in every crowd. Let's see, I'm going to have to let him literally just run across and... Look at that. Now that's the auto thing it did. It decided to bring me over there to attack over there. The auto pathfinding that'll come with doing attacks. So, yeah. And then you can bring up the big map. I can make it go away, but I like how it brings stuff up. Hi there. How a wife! How a doc! So, yeah. You'll get... When things get really busy, some of the visual effects may not stay. But sometimes that's better than having it contribute to the bog down. And there is more frame rate loss when things are busy since post-update. I do think some more of it will get fixed. But yeah, it's not perfect right now. So as you can see, you can fill in the map like that. By the way, in case you don't know, even if you don't need these things, open the boxes. It counts towards some other stuff. When you're a new character, one of your skill tree branches will not unlock until you open enough of those boxes. So whether you need the item in it or not, open the boxes.
For the Emperor!
God, I keep following up. And... Really? What? What? Just standing there? Okay. Let me get that off there so you can see more of the visuals. For an action RPG top-down thing like this, it is a detailed game. It can work for you against you sometimes. You get hung up on terrain that you feel like you shouldn't be sometimes. But yeah, I'm nitpicking at all the shit today. So I often do. But I like that there's different weapons. Each, like, two-handed weapon has 4 abilities. If you pair up the guns, that's how you unlock their second, 2 abilities. Otherwise, you'll just have the first 2, as melee weapons do. Melee weapons, unfortunately, you can't do two-handed, one in each hand. It has to be a two-handed weapon for you to get the most out of it. Because you can't just, say, take 2 power hammers, one in each hand. Which I really think they should let you do. Because I'm sure as an Inquisitor, if you have power armor, a Crusader like I am, your power armor could probably handle it. You only get afforded, the best shit, and find even more good shit from Xenos and whatnot. You almost have as good a shit as the Astodic Custodes, so come on. So basically, yeah, if you go with a melee weapon, you're probably going to want to take a pistol with it, and then you'll have its 2 abilities to work with, or a shield. Or you can go gun and shield. At least I think you can. I've not tried it yet. Because I kind of like the DPS factors of some of 2-hand weapons, and I'm a fucking Crusader, so it's kind of what I like to know to do in life. Take something like a heavy bolter, do something like spin up, and just go apeshit. And just roar that sucker. It's so satisfying. It shakes the controller too, so you feel it. But anyways, there was this. Even though that this game has problems, and you get locked in place, and I can't show that right now because none of my fellow co-oping companions are on right now. Touch pad and quit this out, finish it off. Well, there's an interesting pushing thing there. It's a fun game. It may not seem it the way I'm pushing it right now, but when you get in with your friends, it is. It is a fun game. It is very buggy, and the update to prime it, which, people tend to do, they release little updates for a game before they'll drop the DLC, so it's all compatible and whatnot. It broke some things. And sometimes, unfortunately, it feels like it's game breaking. But I do feel that they are going to fix it. Because as long as this game's gone through its stuff and still has some issues, they're only a 60-man crew, and it's a very in-depth game of stats and percentages stacking and stuff like that. There's a lot to do with it. and they're not exactly this super seasoned, super huge studio. So yeah, 60 may sound like a lot of people, but for a game of this size, and it does keep growing, and you do have other missions you can go on that just kind of randomly generate. Stuff does keep getting updated. I will give it that. I've watched it since its really hard beginnings back in on PC in its beta testing, and I've come back to it. I've learned to enjoy it because what really makes it is being able to play co-op. And most of the stuff you can. There are vehicle missions you can't play co-op. I don't know if you can do co-op with the Void Crusade, where you take shards that you earn and then put them together on this table and go into one. But I'm probably going to try it and see if it'll let us go in on a co-op, because everything that this game can start letting people do co-op, like even the DLC missions, which unlocks things like cool helmets and stuff. More of that would be great too. More cosmetics would be good for stuff to unlock through missions. There are special events. PC had a special event for something recently. It's been over for about like half a month or more a month now. But I'm expecting more of that to hit the console version as well. As it is though, skull mask, helmet, armor, and the fact that if you're in armor that doesn't have a helmet, you can go over to your little unlocked extras over here. There's not many helmets. This one I'd love to get, but it's a seasonal thing, and I've not been on it in this game, seriously like that through its entire lifespan to know what season thing it means. I guess maybe Halloween? That would be off the top of it, but it kind of makes it seem Chaplin-like. But as it is, I don't know. This helmet's kind of Space Marine-ish, and that's what I was going with. But then I was like, wait, this is a new armor, and I've never seen what it looks like without my helmet on. And then I did so, and then I saw that it straight up had the skull mask thing like a Chaplin, and I'm like, oh yeah. Given my history of 40k, that's right up my alley, so that's what I started doing. And you'll notice it's not bright effing red. They actually do some more, texturing of the inner cameras and stuff like that. That's really hard to see, actually. If they really just had it red like the other thing, like this dangly thing also was, see that? You can tell there's multiples on there if you look real close when you move it. And there shouldn't be multiples. That's been a thing for way too long, and it's adding extra unnecessary geometry. But yeah, just making bright red glowy bits in the eyes. For the fact that you can't zoom up and even see this close, that would have been the best idea to go with. Hopefully they'll eventually do it. I don't know if they ever will. Other cosmetic options like being able to change glowing eye color on helmets. That would be great. Yeah, as it is, there's like 3 different patterns generally per armor set and weapon. And this more expensive one that you can reskin over, and then you can also color tint it. This one had glowy yellow bits on the legs here, and I was like, oh, that's pretty sweet. So I took that. So yeah, for all my gripes, do I think the game's worth it? Well, if you can catch this game on sale, as deep as the sale tends to be, absolutely. The DLC that's now $20 on the other hand, well, I might take the hit even though I have no real income. But I do at least have a bit of savings left, and I do really enjoy this, and I don't know how many years I have left, so you know what, you gotta live. And it'll give me a chance to show what's going on here. So I am probably going to go buy that DLC now. Because for all of its gripes and all of its wrong, I do enjoy it quite a bit. Oh, other cool thing. When you go to sell stuff, you don't have to worry about it. If there's just blues and blues don't matter to you anymore. By the way, for some reason it goes blue, green, purple instead of green, blue, purple. I have no idea why they made that choice. But yeah, you hit the touchpad, go to blue, boom, all of it's sold instantly. It feels like it helps the pace of getting shit sold. Plus then you can do this, and then it aligns it by type. You can go see what you have all the more easier. So, you can now easily more compare these things. Hit triangle, you can see what you're wearing, and it's comparative to what's here. Now, I'm not going to say other games don't have that, but being able to perform it side by side and whatnot, and after you can sell them the certain type all at once, very handy. Because some games don't have that. They make you go through your shit one by one. I don't know about you. I don't know if I should have sold that out in sockets. You can add sockets too at a certain expense too, by the way. I'm not one for Sentinel armor, so I'm just going to get rid of those. The armor I have on is my bread and butter right now, and probably will be for the next 10 levels. So, yeah, I'm going to hope that I can find another armor that looks similar like that, or even more badass, when I hit like level 90 slash, I think it's 100 cap. I don't know if it's 90 or 100, I forget. Because someone told me it was 100, and someone else told me it was 90, and I'm like, okay, so which is it? I will quest to find out, basically. Even with the broke things. Because if it takes you getting knocked over and killed in order to get back up, well, it sucks when there's some missions where dying once is end of mission. But if you go in with a partner, and if they can hold their own after you fall down, they can pick you back up. Very handy. So yeah, there's definitely reasons to play with a friend. And so far, the one rando that stepped in last night, has been good. He's looking to me for help, and I have no problem with that. As long as you're not a total douche. Yeah, eventually you can act douchey, a little bit. When you know it's just your friends, you know, being douchey with friends just for the sakes of not being a true douche, just being as friends are. Like me and Falstrix, people say we bicker like a gay married couple. But you know, it's kind of like my other friends around here, like Jim and Jake. They're both retired. And they kind of go back and forth sometimes, you know, but they're always friends at the end of the day. It's like they're better off than actual married couples, because married couples, oh, we fight all the time. Like, yo, that's being married. If you never have a fight when you're married, it means you probably don't spend enough time together. Let's see. These cards, we'll update the cards. You have to click on them. Whoops, I hit the wrong thing, but I can just go over to the inventory from there. These cards will level up the modifiers that you can do per mission. The cards that we saw earlier. So that can make things all the more interesting and all the more rewarding. These empty ring seals you also can apply to things for better chances to gain certain bits. So that's a cool mechanic. So missions that they set in front of you and challenge you in certain ways, you can make them more challenging for yourself, depending on what you're looking for. A very cool mechanic. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot to gripe about this game, but it's actually pretty good. Anyways, I probably spent way too long. It was a 30-minute video, and for a thing to basically say, the update has done some broken-ass some shit. However, is the game still very playable? I think so, especially when you play co-op, and all you need is one other friend to do that. But it does go up to 4-player co-op, and again, I think it's a fun game. It's immersive into the 40k universe, where some people really don't like action RPG game stories, but they just go through to have fun in their own universe and story. You can do a bit of that, and the little situations they give you that you can go into the map, or you can activate an intel and go on that. You can take your void cards you get from those maps and put a mission together here, and they get fairly diverse. At first it may seem like, oh, it's basically the same 4 categories of things, but they change up the story in them a lot. And there are ongoing, like, step-by-step campaign missions, too. And it gets more diverse than you think. So, adding more things, and, like, standard Eldar and Tyranid, and I'm hoping I'm going to come across some fucking Tomb World sleeping, waking up mofo metal skeleton guys. I don't know if they're a thing yet, I forget. Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to end this one. I'm going to go pick up the $20 DLC, and I'm going to pop up on a separate stream. It's still here on YouTube. And yeah, I'm going to mess with it a little bit. I'm kind of hoping it won't force me to do the campaign as a tech priest, because I kind of don't want to play as the tech priest. I like being what I picked. I like being the Crusader, which is as close to a Space Marine as I'm going to get in a game right now. as close to this guy as I'm going to get. So, yeah. You want to add a class that I will start up all over from scratch as? That's Space Marines. I figured that would be a common sense thing right there, but, you know, they want Inquisitors. But there's been Space Marine Inquisitors. But enough, I digress. I'm boring everybody who comes in and inflates right back out. So we'll get to the real action, and that's picking up the $20 DLC and see what happens. So yeah, to the one of you that's actually staking in for a lengthy period of time. Yeah, you left. Yep, time to finish it. So yeah, have a good one, and I will be back playing the new $20 DLC in a moment. Right after I back out through this and get a gander at my guide one more time, because I have a feeling it's going to force me into this tech priest world. But I could be wrong. I'm just more interested in more story. Really am.